Recently, I've had a lot of people ask me how I make my Sims game look so good. So I actually use something called GeShade. If you Google GeShade and just go on gposers.com and you'll find what I'm on about. Just click Windows download and it will download. I've already got it, so I don't need to download it. Click OK, pretend you read the terms and conditions. OK, next, OK. The next step, you basically have to choose the .exe file for the Sim. So just click on Browse, go to your Windows main C drive, click on Program Files 86. Next, go to Origin Games, The Sims 4, Game, Bin, ts4x64.exe, click Open, click Next. The next section, I'm assuming you're running The Sims 4 at 64-bit because most people should be at this stage. So I'm just going to say tick 64-bit. If your computer is not 64-bit, you need to click 32-bit. But for 99% of people, it is 64. You need DirectX 9. You shouldn't need to change any of these settings, but it should be hooking normal mode. Optional, I would just keep all of these ticked apart from enable desktop update reminder because that would just be annoying. Final Fantasy XIV presets, I use these because I play another game called Final Fantasy XIV, but you do not really need these, it's fine. And then you just click install and it will install. I already have it, so I'm not clicking install. Once you've installed it, when the Sims 4 loads for the first time, it might be a little bit slow, and that's because the shader is trying to load. A lot of people trying to overcomplicate the installation process. As long as you link the .exe file, it should be fine. You've just got to use your common sense. When you first start it, you might see something like this come up in your screen, and it will probably be like a tutorial style thing that will get in the way and it will be annoying. All you got to do, guys, when you first come in is just click skip tutorial because we don't care. A lot of people want to download presets that are pre-made. I personally do not think you need to do this. I think you could just make your own preset because it's really easy. It looks super complicated, guys, but trust me, it is not that complicated. It's just this thing is full of a lot of crap for reasons I do not know. It's not user friendly, but it's fine, guys. We can deal with it. Click the plus here and create a preset name. A preset, by the way, is like a color filter. I'm just going to call this Satch on Sims preset. There we go. And just click enter. Okay, so now this is the game without any filters. There are a ton of different filter options that you can use. You don't need them all. First thing I recommend is DPX. DPX is just like a general contrast lightening thing, so it ups the colorfulness. Let me just turn it off and on, off, on. It's like a very subtle difference. You don't need to mess with the individual settings. There's no need to overcomplicate it for yourself. The next one I like to go for is clarity. Again, you don't really need to change much. If I just turn it on, you can see a very subtle difference. It's not massive, but it's enough. The next one I like to use is called HDR. Do not ask me what HDR means. I literally have no idea, but I like to use it. Next, you want to go and find vibrance. Click on this and it will basically just make the game look a little bit better. Now, this one you do have to change a bit in the settings. Just look at the bottom and you can see it's the vibrance, and vibrance, you can just change it up and down. As you can see, if I turn it down, it basically makes it look grey. If I turn it up, it looks brighter. I would just change it to however much you like it. I just put it up a little bit more like this. By the way, if you don't know the difference between vibrance and saturation, saturation makes all of the colors really, really bright. Vibrance only brightens the grayish colors up, but all of the colors that are already vibrant, they don't move up. And it just helps to make it more equal. The next one that you might want to use is something called levels, which is here. Again, just use this and it'll help to create more depth. After you've done, go to settings, and there are two main things that you can either change or keep the same. The first one is overlay key, and the next one is shader toggle key. So overlay key turns on or off this overlay. So mine is set at shift plus F2. So if I press shift plus F2, it gets rid of this, or it brings it back. The next one, shader toggle key, changes whether or not the shader is on, and mine is set to shift F3. So if I turn it off, on, you can see it just makes a big difference. Like, look at it off, look how grey it looks, and then with it on, it just looks so much better. Granted, when you do shaders, the menus, you can't see them as well. So if I turn it on, the menu looks extremely bright and like unreadable. If I turn it off, it doesn't. It's one of the most annoying things about shaders, but at the end of the day, you're not spending your whole life of the game looking at the menu. A lot of them do really funny stuff. Look at this, it's made my game look like, I don't know what the hell is going on. It looks like a fishbowl look. It looks kind of funny. Like, it makes it just have like a weird POV look. Or this one just makes it really, really wavy. Maybe I should play The Sims 4 soon, but call the challenge playing The Sims 4 in drunk mode and trying to play the game looking like this. That would be a fun video. But yeah, there are tons. Some of these different options are super weird. Some of them are super normal. Some of them, when you click on them, your game freezes because they're such complex filters. But if you just leave it and don't touch it, eventually it will sort itself out. You might often see some people do like really aesthetic screenshots. Usually they use the bloom one up here. If you click bloom, you can see it makes everything kind of like sparkly. sparkly and shiny. Or you know how some people, when they do building, they kind of make the builds look really, really good in their screenshots? If you click on MXAO, you can see it adds like a random drop shadow onto it. I'll remove it and put it back. As you can see, it just adds like a drop shadow to the edges. A lot of people do that to make their builds look more striking. They also often use blur tools, like this one's called ADOF. When you do it, it basically blurs everything in the background, but whatever's the focal image, like this house, it's not blurred. So you can experiment with different things depending on what you want to use for them, and you can create multiple presets. But I know some of you do want to install presets, so if you do, let me show you. Firstly, you must use a GeShade preset. You cannot use ReShade. I know a lot of simmers love to use ReShade, but I honestly think ReShade is literally the most annoying thing to download. You have to download a specific version, and you have to make sure you have the right things installed. It's just a nightmare. That is why I prefer GeShade. It's so much easier, and you can just do it yourself. But if you do want to install a GeShade thingy, for example, you want to install mine, again, where I said before, in your computer, go to C drive, go to program files 86, Origin Games, The Sims 4, Game, Bin, GeShade presets, and this is where you can store all of your presets. So you can see, oh, I have two here, Satch preset and Satchel Sims. Satch preset is the one that I use myself normally. I'll upload this if you want, actually. I'll put a link in the bio. I've just created a Google Drive thing, so you just download it from the link. This kind of file can harm your computer. Well, let's hope nobody has hacked into my email and installed a virus, otherwise that would be tragic. Anyway, once it's downloaded, as I said before, go to your preset folder, which is in program files 86, Origin Games, The Sims 4, Game Bin, blah, blah, blah. Open up GeShade presets. All you gotta do is drag this into your presets folder. And then when you open GeShade, all you gotta do is click the three dots, make sure it's set to the program files 86, Origin Games, The Sims 4, Game Bin, GeShade presets, and then scroll down to the Satch preset or whatever preset you download, double click it, and then boom, you've got it in your game. But honestly, guys, you could probably just make it yourself. If you just spend like a few minutes looking into it, it's not that bad. And it honestly makes such a difference. Like, it looks so gray before, and then when you just put it on, it looks so much better. If you have any super technical questions, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably not gonna be able to help you because I can't see what's happening on your computer. It is a very easy thing to install, and you don't just have to use it for The Sims, you can also use it for other games too. You can see I have it installed for The Sims, but I also have it installed for Final Fantasy 14. I actually found this GeShade thing because of Final Fantasy 14, another game that I play. I know a lot of simmers do use ReShade. I just think ReShade is such a bore like to install, and it's so complicating downloading the presets and everything. So this is just how I do it. I hope this tutorial was useful. See you in the next one.